If you want to build a thick, strong back, you have to train like an animal. And what better way than doing an exercise that actually makes you look like a silverback gorilla when you're performing it. I'm Eric Leha, or you might know me as the Primal Soldier on Instagram. And today I'm gonna explain the gorilla row kettlebell exercise. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. The gorilla row is a variation on the bent over row you've probably already aware of. You hinge at the hips and you row weight from the floor to your sides. The key difference with the gorilla row versus a barbell bent over row is that the kettlebells allow you to work one side at a time. You'll actively push one kettlebell into the floor while you row the other one, all while staying in the bent over position. And that combination trains a lot of stability in your core while improving mobility in your hips and strengthening your hinge movement pattern, the same one you use on moves like the deadlift and kettlebell swing. So first off, I want you to start with the bells in between your feet. I like to keep my feet about hip distance apart, and from here, I'm gonna hinge at the hips. All right, what that means is I tuck my pelvis back, keep a nice straight line from my tailbone to the top of my head. Core is braced. I'm really trying to light up the hamstrings here. All right, make this a full body exercise. I really engage in the posterior, the glutes, the hammies, and then from here, I'm going to actively push into the ground as I pull with the opposite side, keeping that elbow tight to the ribs, lighting up the lats. I'm gonna push and pull and then alternate sides, placing that bell on the floor and then switch sides. We can alternate. We can also work one side at a time. Depending on what your workout prescribes, there are different variations to how we can incorporate this row. But key points, keep that long spine, core brace, alternate sides, and really try to get primal with it, all right? Light up those legs, stay engaged. I like to really imagine like I'm splitting the ground apart, like I'm doing a squat as well. All right, creating that lateral tension. Now, you can rotate more to incorporate a little bit more rotation in the thoracic spine, get a little bit more mobility work out of this exercise, but just be aware that you're gonna have decreased range and shortening of that lat muscle, so you're gonna get less lat activation. So if you're looking to put on a nice thick back, try to minimize that rotation. That way you get more range of motion on that pull. But it's okay to mix it up and add a little bit more rotation. But if you're looking for more gains, keep it nice and tight. Have those elbows come as far back as you can and really get that maximum contraction. In addition to working the lats, the other muscles also working are the rear delts, rhomboids, traps, biceps, forearms, core, and as well that are being lengthened and stretched are the glutes, the hamstrings in that hinge position, all right? So big bang for your buck with the gorilla row. The gorilla row can also be performed with dumbbells if you don't have kettlebells available. All you'll have to do is elevate a platform or a box to about mid-shin level, all right? From here, I'm using a box. I'm gonna take my dumbbells and place them on the box. That way, I can still get that same effect where I'm driving and pushing down with the opposite side as I'm rowing. Remember, we start with that nice neutral spine. I hinge at the hips, I light up the hamstrings, I get that stretch, and then I row. Elbows tight, light up the lats, rear delts, all that good stuff in the back while maintaining a nice, strong hinge position. Sometimes you don't feel focused and alert in the gym and your workout can suffer as a result. New Alpha Brain pre-workout was designed specifically for athletes and gym goers and supports focus, power, and endurance. It's the ultimate way to charge up your mind and body. Use the coupon code GETONNIT to get 10% off Alpha Brain pre-workout at onnit.com. Now let's get back to the video. An alternative row variation you could do to the gorilla row is a more simple foundational row, a split stance supported row. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to step forward with one leg, almost in a lunge position. I'm gonna straighten out that back leg and shuffle it back as far as I can until I can maintain a nice long spine from my heel to the top of my head. I'm gonna use my same side hand as the lead leg, forearm, to support myself on top of my thigh. I'm gonna get a similar effect here as I did on the row, on the gorilla row, because I'm gonna be able to row as I drive and push into that thigh. So I'm pushing into the supported leg and rowing. Push and pull. Remember, I'm still trying to maintain that core engaged, nice long spine. Once you feel comfortable with this, you can add rotation here as well, opening up that chest. Just remember, if we're looking for maximum muscle gains, we're trying to shorten that muscle as much as we can, so let's try to stay as square as we can, if that's the goal. An advanced variation that we can do is our Renegade row. All right, on this one, I like to start by turning the handles up at a 45 degree, all right, like I'm trying to create an A-frame with the handles. That's gonna help me line up my elbows with my lats, creating a little bit more stability. All right, it's also gonna prevent me from tipping over. I'll feel a lot more stable here. And before I initiate that row, make sure you find a comfortable position with the feet. All right, the more narrow you are, it's gonna be a lot more difficult, a lot more instability. I like to go about hip distance apart or even wider if you're really challenged. All right, and from here, same thing as the gorilla row, I'm pushing down into the opposite grounded bell as I row with the opposite side. Push and pull. Do your best to fight rotation in the hips. Usually what that means is I'm going to actively squeeze the same side butt cheek. All right, I'm driving this hip down as I'm pulling. Woo! Those are tough. Once you get really good at those, to make it even harder, narrow that stance for a little bit more instability. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more training videos. And for a full article guide to building muscle with the gorilla row, see the link to our article in the description.